From China with love, this is the new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid in the Reserve trim level. It is, of course, the mid-sized SUV from Lincoln that was originally supposed to be for sale only in China. It went on sale in China in 2023. It now comes to North America because probably somebody complained that this is not a North American vehicle since they don't sell it here, but whatever. It is now here, and I have to say that, at least from the outside, it's a pretty good looking thing. I really like the design with the aggressive front look. I like the lighting that goes edge to edge. The front grille it lights up at night. I really like the door handles on the side. It's a very sleek design. It reminds me of the Lincoln Continental, but they're not very functional though. And can I tell you, the comfort access, it's not very reliable, to be honest. And you have to press the pin pad to lock the car. So kind of meh. It has humongous 21-inch wheels. This one here has the Jet Appearance package. So it looks really good. It is a looker, I have to give it that. And also inside, it has really fancy screens. They go 48 inches from side to side. It's not a single screen. It's more like 4 screens. Like it's kind of split in half, and then you have 1 screen on this side and 3 screens on the other. And you can use the 3 screens like widgets. So you have a couple of options. So you can pick between the clock, media, trip information, weather, your fueling, and your tire pressure monitor. So they're not really that useful because it's not stuff that you really need to see all the time. Like you could have it in the instrument cluster like everybody else does. It looks very fancy, but is it really useful? I'm not sure. I have to say that the interior, if it didn't have those screens, would be kind of boring. Like it's these screens that make the interior. If you take that away, it's all right, but it's nothing really crazy. The seats, however, these 135-way adjustable seats, Lincoln usually does that. Honestly, they reduced the amount of adjustments you can do on the seats, and they're actually very comfortable, finally. I can say that I really like the seat. What I don't really like is the overall driving position, which is quite upright. As you can see, the steering here is quite low. I would like it maybe an inch higher. The thing is, though, it's already 40% into the screen. I mean, there's nothing really useful on the bottom of that screen to look at, but yeah, it kind of I don't know. It's not the best. Roominess up front here is fantastic. I have tons of space for my stuff and for myself. The passengers in the back seat will also enjoy crazy good roominess. Tons of legroom, headroom. The seats recline, they slide back and forth. And most importantly, you have lots of USB ports. You have air vents, obviously, and you have heated rear seats in this trim level. The trunk is also humongous. It's 996 liters, which is 35.2 cubic feet. It has a power tailgate, so all good there. This thing can also tow up to 1,750 pounds, so despite being a hybrid, at least it can still tow. Equipment-wise, you get a lot of good stuff. You get heated front and rear seats, heated wheel, you got very nice cameras, automated parking. You have a very good infotainment system that supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's an Android-based unit, so basically you can see Google Play Store here and lots of apps installed, so it's pretty cool. You don't have a heads-up display, but you don't need one because you have the screen right there. You have a very nice sunroof. You have ambient lights. You also have exterior lights at night, which is pretty cool. The audio system is fantastic. This Revel Ultima 3D audio sound system with a 28 speakers sounds fantastic. However, again, compared to like other premium brands, the bottom grille here is nice in aluminum and it's a nice grille, but the top one here, it's completely bendable fake plastic. So yeah, like Mercedes and BMW would completely laugh at this. Under the hood, this thing has a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Of course, it is a hybrid, which means that it also has an electric motor to go with it to help things out. It makes a total of 310 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour came in 7.5 seconds. 0 to 60 was 7 seconds flat. So performance is overall decent. It just comes with the boring CVT soundtrack. But since it's a hybrid, it also enjoys really good fuel economy. I mean, on average, we've used about 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers. That's just under 31 mpgs, which is fantastic. Overall, the drivetrain, I have no complaints. It's actually a very smooth drivetrain. Like, you can hear when the engine goes in and out and all that stuff, but honestly, it's an effortless system. It has good throttle response. Like, everything is fantastic. I have no complaints regarding the drivetrain. Even the CVT, I'm kind of ignoring it. It's all good. It's quite nice and refined on the road. It's not as quiet and nice as, let's say, even a Lexus or a BMW, Mercedes, Audi for sure. Over bumps, it does have dynamic dampers that continuously adjust themselves, but honestly, it is comfortable. It's just, it doesn't feel like it can actually compete in, with the category that it's in. It does have humongous wheels and tires, and with that comes additional grip. So when you actually want to turn the car, handling is actually pretty good. It does lean a little bit, but you know what? There is tons of grip. However, the stability and assistant controls, like the traction control, stability control, they do kick in, I think, a little bit too early, but that's probably a good thing, because if you think of who's going to be driving this car, then it's good. Like now I totally felt torque vectoring and tucking in the front. Like there's an invasive kind of like assistant happening, but you know what? I don't think this car is meant to be driven that hard anyway. So regarding handling, totally fine, totally safe, no worries. But being a Lincoln, it should have been a little bit more comfortable. However, that brings me to a point that I really do need to make here, that this is basically the new Ford Edge L with a different suit by Lincoln. And with that, being a Ford Edge, it's really a mainstream vehicle under all this, fancy looks. And you can tell because like the suspension has nothing sophisticated about it. No premium materials, it's all steel. The bolts are kind of, truck-like. Like there's nothing fancy here. So let me tell you about the pricing at this point, because it needs to all fit in right here. Prices in Canada start at $60,195 for the reserve car, but not the hybrid one, the regular one. This one here, as tested, is $78,339 with the jet appearance package. Of course, in the US, prices start at $54,850, but this one, as tested, would have been $72,525. You can also kick it up a notch and go to like the black label ones, which is like, I don't know, an additional $15,000. But you know what? Why do that? This car is really well equipped. Like I can't imagine buying a Nautilus with less equipment than this one has. So if we think about the price tag of $78,000 now, this is like Lexus RX territory. You can definitely get something like that. And is it that good? I would have to say not by a mile. It really looks cool. So if you fall in love with the looks of this thing, or they give it to you as a company car, you want to lease it for 3 years, no problem. But will it have the longevity of like an actually premium vehicle? Even the Lexus is borderline actually premium, but let's say a BMW or Mercedes or an Audi. Like those cars, they have a lot more when it comes to the construction to this. Like this, it just feels a bit hollow. Like it feels like under this nice little leather, there's not much to see here. Like even the trim here, like it's already chipped in a corner, and this car has 6,500 kilometers on it. So how easily did this happen? Also, regarding reliability, I have to tell you a story now, because I have also 2 shorts that you can see on my channel. So I got hold of this car on a Tuesday afternoon. I drove it on Wednesday. Wednesday night, I parked it on my driveway. I locked it. I walked away. Thursday morning, I came to the car to take my kids to school, and the car is completely dead on my driveway. I called roadside assistance because I didn't think that it's probably a battery problem. I thought, okay, maybe some motherboard died or something. It ended up being a drained battery that overnight somehow and for some reason went to like 0% charge. I charged the battery up. The car woke up. Yes, everything is fine. However, keep in mind that the hole that you have to put the hardware key in, is right under the T, and it's only on the driver's side where it says Nautilus. So if for some reason the driver's side door is blocked, then you cannot get in the car, because that little thing is only on the driver's side, not on the passenger side. Which brings me again to the door handles, which door handles didn't always work for the comfort axis, which was kind of concerning and wasn't really giving me lots of confidence. So lots of times I had to actually use the key to open and close the car. And also, there's nothing on the passenger side. So again, it's kind of not very well thought out, I would have to say. Now, the battery in this car, like the 12-volt battery, looks like a smaller form factor battery. I don't know. This car just didn't give me the confidence that I needed. And imagine, this is a brand new press car. If I've had this car in my possession for like 2-3 years, I don't know, would I be, more used to its quirks, or would I be hating it? I don't know. So I've never had any other press car just die on me overnight on my driveway. So definitely not the best start with this Lincoln. However, again, the built in China is a big problem for me because, I don't want to sound racist or anything. My iPhone is also built in China, but it's different when you spend $2,000 on a Chinese product, and it's different when you want to spend $80,000 on a product made in China. Honestly, I don't know. My confidence levels in these kind of things is not there yet. Maybe it's just me, but it's the same reason why I would never buy a Chinese EV, for example, like a BYD and all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, at least yet. And as you can see, I'm wearing black because I'm kind of mourning for Lincoln because, an American iconic vehicle is now imported from China. I don't know, man. It just doesn't sit right. Anyway, enough of me, being all bitchy about it. As I said before, the technology is fine. Like, I have no issues. I like that it has this scent, but, why don't we have like a burger and fries kind of scent, or a tzatziki and gyro, since I'm Greek? I mean, give us something to look forward to. I'm just kidding. Anyway, now let me tell you a few drawbacks about this vehicle, because it's not all good looking and peachy. As I said, the made in China is a problem for me. The reliability, again, from my experience, not the best. The speaker grills, haha, what a joke, being plastic. This is, as I said, a mainstream vehicle, so underneath the shell, there's not much fancy stuff to look at. It has quite small brakes. The front rotors are 345 mil, the rear are 320. It did stop the car quite well from 100 kilometers an hour. It stopped in 41 meters, but that was just once. If I had to do it more than one time, I don't know what would happen. Again, the screens aren't that useful. They're very fancy, but are they useful? I'm not sure. The steering wheel is an oval shape, so it's not only like on the top, kind of compressed down, but it's also from the bottom. So if you look at it like this, it almost looks like the Lincoln logo, but when you go like this, it looks like a squished football. It's fine when you're holding it from the sides, like 9 and 3. It's okay. It's like a yoke almost, but it has a top. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I'm not going to say good or bad, but the overall driving position I'm not a fan of, and this wheel I'm also not a fan of. I mean, if the bottom at least was more round, I don't know. I like flat bottom steering wheels, but they're round on the top. Maybe if you do the opposite here, it would be fine. I don't know. I'm not a fan. As I said, the proximity axis is kind of glitchy. The overall driving experience is kind of boring. And also, for example, all the exterior panels, minus the hood, they're steel. See the magnet? It sticks. That means that in places like Canada, you can expect that in the long run, this thing might actually rust compared to other German rivals that most of these panels are all aluminum. The problem with the interior is that without the screens, it would have been, it wouldn't be this fancy. The price is the biggest problem. It also has Blue Cruise 1.2, which works quite well on the highway, so it can kind of drive for you, which is quite nice. So overall, how do I feel about this 2024 Lincoln Nautilus? Honestly, if you can get a great deal on one, and if you love the way it looks, and it's a car that you're going to get rid of short term, like you lease it for 3 years or you get it as a company car, I say, you know what? If you want, you can dare it. I wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't really, try to talk you out of it. It's definitely not a top 5 pick. Like, I've seen other YouTubers say cancel your Lexus and titles like that. That's a joke. Do not cancel any Lexus if you have one on order for one of these. Honestly, it's a nice car, but it's really lacking substance, and that's what's bothering me. And for that reason, it's okay. But overall score, I would have to say nothing more than 6.5 out of 10. Anyway, so that's it with the brand new Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid Reserve from China. Leave us a comment, share this video with your friends, subscribe, do whatever you want. Let me know how wrong I am about being negative about this China thing if you want, but honestly, for me, it just doesn't sit well. Anyway, till next time, be well. Bye-bye.